one day until I launch my first AI startup. I don't know, guys. I just woke up and I skipped the video yesterday, and now I realize that I need to do the video to give you guys and myself an update on what's going on because the last few weeks were very crazy. As an overview, my name is Eugene. I've been running my um, six-figure AI agency for over 3 years right now. Currently, I'm in the process of launching my first AI startup and scale it to $1 million ARR. What this is, it's an open source appointment setter that you can rely on, voice and text, book appointments, speed to lead campaigns, nurture, qualify, engage, reactivate. That leads from the CRM. This is our tech stack. We are having our own custom built interface based on Supabase and Lovable. This is the backend that we are using. I do this to show what worked for us, where we are failing, and how we're going to be planning to scale to $1 million ARR. Now, so what is going on is, first, I'm trying to fix a very important issue, which is the loading speed. Now, if any of you guys I know you're watching that have like a very good experience developing the different apps, I would love to hear your thoughts, because obviously when it comes to the vibe coding, there are a lot of limitations when it comes to the speed. And in all honesty, I believe that our app is very, very slow. And right now it feels like instant, but again, I think it is caching. So if we reload that, the general reloading takes some time. Plus, especially when it comes to the leads and conversations, it takes some time. Now, partially it is one due to the bad infrastructure layer on the back end with the different queries. Like, see, it takes like maybe 3-4 seconds to load the conversation. And second of all is because, again, we are like building an open source layer, meaning the users, like our users, will host, at least will be able to host, like it depends on how they define it, but they will be able to host their own data themselves on the Supabase, right? So like same thing with the n8n, same thing with the Supabase, because this is where the main thing is, as well as, self-host this entire interface. So in this, like for example, these conversations are querying the actual external Supabase. So in the external Supabase, if we go here, we have a chat history, and this is the Supabase that like our users are gonna have, right? So this is where they will store all the chat history, all the call history, all the credentials, documents, errors. So like basically this is where everything lives, and this is when we're saying like you own the data, and we are just an open source layer. I mean, of course, again, if people are not going to be able to install it, most of them will not, so we will provide our fully managed services. Anyway, so I was like working on that, but then I realized that this is probably not something that I want to do, at least for now, because we're shipping tomorrow and there are some things missing. Let me run this SQL code to add the... I'm currently, so I asked it to add the some information into our Go high level connection. You can see the assignee ID for the calendar connection, and add these fields because they were not there into the credentials. Okay, right here. Again, not gonna show it for now. So basically, I don't think that the loading speed is actually something that I am very worried about right now. Of course, it's not usable. It's not usable at the big scale, right? I also like, I hate when the things load slower, but this is something that we need to deal with, I guess, and I need to ship. Now, in previous videos, I was showing you, I believe, the engagement workflows. I can't remember, but the engagement campaigns are currently working. Now, we are going to have two different types of the campaigns. And again, guys, see, unfortunately, you're probably like, I don't have a lot of views on this channel, and you guys that are watching are usually watching it within a, 1, 2, 3 days after I publish the video, because this, YouTube channel is getting recommended not in real time after the video published. I'm not sure what's going on, but I would love to hear your thoughts, right? So like, I needed to start it earlier, like shit, like I needed to start it earlier, but again, like I will keep you in the loop of the progress and what we're making. So would love to hear your thoughts. of like, hey Eugene, this is what I'm thinking, because we are obviously going to be collecting the feedback from our open source users, as well as from our paid users that are going to be paying us $197, for us to build everything, but they're going to be, using it, and they're going to be sharing the feedback. Now, but what I was saying, there are two types of workflows that we have. So we have we used to have we had three. Okay, so like it's custom workflows. Then we have the built-in workflows, and we have campaign workflows. Now, what is the custom? Custom, essentially, these are the custom workflows that you can build inside the app. Like, I will tell you right now that fucking launches tomorrow. I don't know, so these things are not yet done. I mean, the interface is done. I just didn't realize, I did not decide if we are gonna keep it or not, because yeah, I mean, sure, you can create a trigger, and then you can maybe potentially send a webhook. Like, for example, when the contact is created, then you're gonna send a webhook to your external superbase or external CRM, for example, like a HubSpot, to then get a double sync. No. Okay, no, I don't think that we will have it. I'm just speaking to myself, and the reason being is because the one prompt open source setter was originally built to give so much simplicity to introduce so much simplicity into the process, remove all the possibilities that you can build here, and just make it very much straightforward to run the speed to lead campaigns, to run the lead reactivation campaigns, and run the outreach campaigns. So this is basically not needed. So I guess we're gonna remove the option for the custom workflow. Now, so we do have a pre-built workflows. Now, pre-built workflows are kind of interesting, and this is why I said I would want to hear your thoughts, because see, pre-built workflows is not something that you actually need to do, right? So you literally don't need to do any shit here, literally. The only thing is that this webhook URL, so you get it and you paste it into your high level, okay? But other than that, all these things, for example, the delay before the tag setter replies is configured in the tag setter, right? So the tag setter itself, this webhook is coming from the actual credentials. So technically this, you cannot add anything. I will tell you even more. You cannot remove the follow-ups, because let's say you want to do, I don't know, one follow-up instead of 3 follow-ups. So you will go here, you will open the setter that you want, because obviously this workflow applies to multiple setters, and see here, it highlights the follow-up instructions that you basically need to specify. So you change it per setter, the same thing as with a reply delay. Okay, so if we go into by the way, right now it looks super sharp. The changes are super sharp, which I like, but I think it's caching or something. Maybe Ali or Harsh did something already. See, it is getting highlighted, but it's getting highlighted only if you go through the workflow. So the point is that this workflow is one workflow for all the setters. Why do we need it? Technically, you don't even need this shit. Technically, this webhook URL could be placed in the setter config, okay? Because this one is directly coming from the credentials, okay? From this text engine webhook, okay? So why do we need it? For the debugging, meaning on the executions, and I've spent so much time making sure that it works, and I believe this shit is better than the n8n in terms of, at least for this specific use case, so you can actually see what is going on, and you can, for example, the processing, right? It's you can see that this person has, received the trigger, delay, text setter, generated the reply, okay? But then the follow-up, so right now this user, and there is a countdown, he's waiting for this follow-up to be processed, and then, so like you can visually see it. So why do we need it? For the debugging purposes. Now, who is going to be debugging? This is the question, because for the open source, people are going to be using it themselves. But again, as you know, most people will not set it up. So a lot of people will be, referring to us for the fully managed setters. Now, we are going to be responsible for debugging the agent. So it is primarily for us internally to make sure that the debugging works. And like, for example, if the person is saying, hey, this setter is not performing how I want, maybe there's like some sort of an error, we will go into the account and we will see it. Now, it's just better. Obviously, we will have, like just probably like our debugging process is going to be like, we're going to go to the Claude code that is connected to the lovable, provide this, user ID and say, hey, like what's going on? Plus I'm planning to build an entire we needed to do it right away, but yeah, I'm not sure. So to have the entire interface where we're gonna see all the sub accounts that we have and all the errors that we're getting for each sub account, maybe I'll do that. I mean, it's gonna take me 1 hour probably, so that we can right away, without waiting for the user, just come into the sub account and fix the error. So the point is, this is the built-in workflow, okay? And the same thing, for example, for the built-in workflow from the Go high level, right? It's like the new lead from the Go high level. So whenever you are adding a prospect, a tag called one prompt, like new lead, one prompt OS, this is going to send this lead and create it in our OS, right? And this makes sense because this is basically the syncing. So as soon as you add the tag, you can make sure that now this lead is fully synced with our system. So this is what this workflow is for. Now, think about this. I don't need it. Like, I don't need to see it. Right? It's like I don't need to see it because it's a backend process, but I decided, okay, so maybe we should see it so that here we can see, okay, what's going on, what condition it went through, and maybe if the lead already exists, it's not going to do anything. So these are the built-in workflows, but the next side, like the biggest part is the campaign workflows. So I explained what the custom workflows is. We're probably not going to have it. Built-in workflows, this is primarily for the debugging, but this campaign workflows is what makes the difference, because this is where the entire campaign is at. Now, this campaign is running currently right now for our waitlist subs, and this is where the conversations are coming from. So the people are signing up to my waitlist. And the way it works, let me actually show you. So I have the waitlist. That, by the way, you can check the link above, but again, like the launch is tomorrow, so probably when you're gonna watch this video, this is gonna be already out. So this is, let me check how much. Okay, so like we have 2 more minutes left. So open source, right? You submit it here. Now inside the Go high level, this triggers the development internal. Okay, funnel waitlist setter, waitlist submit. So this is going to trigger this workflow, okay? So this trigger is getting triggered, okay? Like we're doing I'm tracking for the meta, and then what we do, we send this lead into the one prompt OS. So it's triggering this workflow. As you can see, we can add this workflow manually or for the webhook. Finding lead exists, no, yes, add the drip, and the drip is primarily for the actual. For the outreach campaigns, and then we are doing the engagement, right? It's like, hey, this is Eugene, I just saw you submitted the waitlist, and then we're doing the WhatsApp engagement. WhatsApp engagement we can do either through a free text, okay, or through a template. Obviously the template, because it's outside of the 24-hour window. So right now, if I go inside, like for example here, okay, you can see that this is the campaign that is running. Now, these messages are triggering back the Go high level, and the Go high level is the one that is sending SMS and the WhatsApp. But again, it is fully synced. Why? Because again, we are using Go high level for the phone number and WhatsApp and like email calendar connection. So the Go high level is a connection. So we are technically running the entire engagement workflow from our entire interface, but the actual messages are sent from the Go high level because the Go high level is, it's just like a channel connector. So this is currently working, and again, like it's like, see, it is working real time. So this is what I call the campaign workflow, and we have the same exact, okay, so I have 30 seconds. So I have the same exact campaign workflow for any use case. So speed to lead. This is exactly a speed to lead, right? It's like the lead submits a form here. It triggers a webhook. This could be form submit. This could be calendar. This could be an instant form from the Facebook. And then he's getting added to this campaign, and then he reaches out. But the same exact thing could be from a database reactivation or cold outreach. You manually add the leads to our CRM right here, and then in bulk, you add them to this, you launch the campaign, and then it's going to get launched right away. Anyways, keep in touch.